I would be that person that used to watch all the YouTube videos on how to stop caring what people think about you and how to get over the fear of being seen. And I have put in years of putting myself out there, being absolutely terrified, and then getting over it. So I'm going to give you the real meat from a brain training coach of what works, what doesn't work, and what you actually need to do in order to get over your fear of being seen. So whether you want to start putting out music on Spotify, or you want to dance on Broadway, or if you want to start your own YouTube channel, being able to express yourself freely is so necessary in order to shine at your highest capacity and exude all of your God-given gifts and values and talents that you have to offer the world. And that's why in this video, I'm going to be talking about why this comes up in the first place, how to pinpoint where your fear is actually stemming from, how to make sure that you're actually taking the right steps in the right direction and following your path to bring you the highest results, and how to integrate all of this so you can shine like the freaking star that you are. What's up? My name is Sabrina and welcome back to the channel. Here in the Better You space, we teach creatives, dreamers, and entrepreneurs how to train their minds to make their daydreams their real daily lives. I do offer one-on-one VIP coaching for those of you who are ready to go all in gung-ho on making your vision a reality. And I do have a few pre-recorded brain trainings for sale. I'll put the links for them below. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified every time I post a new video. There is more content coming, and let's get into this. Let's start this by talking about why this comes up in the first place, because this seems to be that almost every single person has of this fear of public speaking, this fear of being on camera and putting themselves out there, a fear of being judged by their friends or ridiculed by strangers. And I want to explain that this is so primal. It's so human of you. If you really look at our brains look very similar to the way that they did when we were cavemen and cave women. We still have so many of those primal instincts of our bodies and our nervous systems entering the state of fight or flight when we might perceive danger. And way back in the day, if we were kicked out of the tribe, we would starve to death, we would freeze to death, we would get chased by lions. We would not survive. So being accepted by the tribe is a very primal instinct for us. Being accepted by the people around you, by your peers, by your friends, by your family, by strangers even, your brain sees as a survival mechanism. Your brain sees as we need to make sure that we are accepted and do not stray away from the tribe so that I can survive. And this is not something that goes on consciously. We are typically only conscious of 5 to 10% of our thoughts, emotions, and actions. 90 to 95% of your thoughts, emotions, reactions, behaviors, they're automated programs that are hardwired in your brain so that you have these automations in your body to be able to survive in the world around you. And a lot of these programs have been enveloped and ingrained into our brains from generations ago. And this is the key where we want to start making the shift, because we are obviously not living the same lives that our ancestors were. God bless them. Thank you for them, because we are living in such luxury compared to them. And the key here in getting out of this fear of being seen and getting out of all the constrictions that really limit us from skyrocketing and expanding us into our highest capacity is training your brain out of a state of survival and into a state to thrive. And these are two completely different operating systems to go from. We have to start breaking the chains of, if I do X, I will die. Because 9 times out of 10 in the world that we live in today, that's not the truth for us. We aren't going to starve or freeze to death or get eaten by lions if our friends, our family, or peers disapprove of what we're doing or judge what we're doing. And so with this being said, with the fear of being seen, it's kind of a vague term that's different for everyone. Every single person relates to it in different ways because of your past experiences, because of your personal ancestry, and sometimes because of your past lives, but that is an esoteric topic, more for another day. So to start pinpointing, what is the root of your fear of being seen, right? Because if you are already aware that you have this fear of being seen, you're most likely procrastinating on putting up content or putting yourself out there or putting the music out there or auditioning for the Broadway shows to even get a chance to be on there. You're procrastinating on these things because your brain is like flashing these red lights siren, siren, urgent, warning, do not go in that direction. It can cause you to be a hyper perfectionist or to hide different parts of yourself that you feel like may not be accepted by others, or to act in ways that are not authentic to you, that other people see you and they're like, something about this girl just doesn't feel right. It's because you're not being authentically yourself. And that's a feeling, right? People can feel that. People can sense that. And you are the most powerful in your authentic essence when you are fully yourself unapologetically. So I want to ask you, what is it that you fear or that you're worried about with being seen, with being in the spotlight? And this is something to sit down and journal on and do these practices of actually journaling on it, right? This is the actual implementation of it. And as you journal on this or think about it and write notes on it, I want you to write things down without even thinking about it. I want you to write down the first things that come to mind, because this is your subconscious speaking here. And we want to speak to the subconscious because that's the programming that's controlling that 90 to 95% of your behaviors of how you respond and react in the world. Are you afraid of messing up and stuttering or falling and having people witness you, quote unquote, fail? Are you afraid of people talking about you behind your back and making fun of you and judging you? What is it that comes up, and why? Why does this thing bother you so much that it's stopping you from going after your fucking dreams? These are your dreams, bitch. Why is this stopping you? Ask yourself, why? And when you come up with the answer of, it hurts my feelings when Susan and Sally and Sarah say all of these mean things about me, ask yourself again, why? Why does that bother you so much? Why does that hurt your feelings? And let yourself go deeper with it. And again, don't judge what is coming up. Don't try to hyper-analyze. Just let whatever first comes up to come up, because everyone's reason for their fear of being seen is going to be different. It's going to be unique to you and your own path and your own journey. And sometimes it's not even just the fear of being seen, it's the fear of being misperceived. What if I am authentic, and what if I do show the best of myself, and what if I do speak from the heart, but then someone watches me and they take what I say and they twist my words and they see me in this other light and they make a hate page about me with all of this false information from their own negative perspective, and all these other people join in, and what if that happens? When I'm standing in my authenticity and then other people see me as evil or bad or negative in some way. And to get over this, to get through this, to grow through this, really as you grow through this, you're expanding your vessel to be able to hold and sustain so much more. This is such a beautiful and powerful growth period for you if this is something that you're working through. But you have to be okay with being misperceived. And it sucks. Okay, it actually sucks. Having people look at you and twist your words and see you in their own light, but it is what it is. People are going to see you from their own reticular activating system, from their own filtering system, from their brains, just like you are always perceiving people through your own filter. You might have your own judgments on other people and have the automatic thoughts of, oh, they're cringe, oh, they're annoying, oh, they're trying to be flashy, etc., because of your own shit and your own filter. And everyone has this. And I'm willing to bet that you have misperceived other people countless times. And the more we neutralize this and take the power away from this, okay, let's start taking the power away from the way in which people view you, because that should neither put you on a pedestal or be able to take you off the pedestal. You should be able to have yourself on the pedestal no matter what and however people may think of you. But the more you try to resist being misperceived and you try to over-explain yourself and you exhaust your energy to go above and beyond to make sure that people heard you right or they understood you right, just to make sure that people know what page you're on and where you sit at, because God forbid someone misunderstands what you say and they start throwing shade your way, or you are a perfectionist about your content because you really just have to be seen in this certain light, you are draining your energy. And babe, you cannot control how other people view you. This is out of your control. And this is something that you need to surrender to. You need to follow your path, follow your desires, what your heart is telling you what to do. You know, in the Bible, and I'm not religious at all, but I notice certain Bible references and how some of them will really relate a lot to universal teachings. But in the Bible, it says you need to be obedient and listen to my commandments. Your heart's desires are those commandments, are those things that you want to quote unquote obey. I don't like the word obey, but that you should quote unquote obey to if you want to reach your highest path of ultimate fulfillment, love, success, everything you could have dreamed of and more. Your heart's desires are what you should follow. So fuck what people think. Fuck it. You have to be and get used to being okay with being seen from so many different perspectives and having thousands of different versions of yourself in other people's minds. You have to know yourself so strongly enough to be okay with that. You have to be humble enough and grounded enough to not let your ego start freaking out and saying all these things and getting you all worried in your head because other people have different opinions and judgments towards you. You have to start practicing letting that go. And we're going to get into the integration of how to do this in a moment. I want to really get it across that this is normal. It is, nothing's wrong with you. You're not being super insecure. You're not being weak in any type of way. This is literally our primal programming. It affects your literal nervous system. Many times you will have visceral reactions to this because we want to make sure that we're accepted by the tribe. If we get kicked out of the tribe, we get killed, we get eaten by lions, rah, rah, hoo-ha. We want to make sure that we are accepted by the tribe. And you see, I watched all of the videos for so long. I was so freaking terrified to put myself out there because I was surrounded with a bunch of very judgmental people. Shit, at that time in my life, there were years where I spent a lot of my time judging other people because I was very unaware, unconscious. I just wasn't in this personal development phase of my life yet. And that was just the way of life. That was just how the community and society around me lived. And that's how I lived. And so when I felt the calling to get onto YouTube, there was a lot of tension inside of my body of I don't want to put myself out there. This is scary as shit. Everything about this was so terrifying. And I did not get through my fear of being seen by watching YouTube videos, by listening to content, taking notes and journaling to figure out where the root cause stemmed from was very, very helpful. These things were helpful. But as far as the actual movement of getting through the fear of being seen is a nervous system regulation practice. It's actually regulating your body to feeling safe in being judged, in being misperceived, in being hated on, because haters are gonna hate. And so when I first started to get my first couple of comments that were not supportive or happy, some of them may not have been considered hate comments, but they were still just kind of rude. I noticed myself feeling extremely offended, feeling extremely how could this person say this thing? And I would, my entire being would be lit up by it. And it was in that moment, this is what helped me to get through of the fear of being seen. In that moment of me feeling triggered, calming myself down, regulating myself down. If you haven't watched my 4 tools to regulate your nervous system, I highly recommend because those will literally save your life with so many things. But I had to tell myself, I am safe, even if someone is saying negative things about me. And you can tap on this if you're familiar with EFT tapping. If you're not familiar with EFT tapping, please familiarize yourself. This is an amazing tool to speed your way through some of your biggest mindset blocks. And it was regulating myself every single time I got a hate comment or got a rude comment where I felt myself feel triggered and then calm myself down, was then afterwards, I would see a spike in views. I would see a spike in followers. My energetic field would open up to more people being able to have eyes on me because I am opening my space. And this is the energetics of this, because if you have the fear of being seen, your energy is saying it's not safe. I'm going to close up my energy to being seen because there's danger and discomfort there. And so energetically, it's going to be really hard for you to pop off. It's going to be really hard for people to see you. When people do watch your content, they might even feel this weird sense of like tension bubble around them because your energy is so tense. And people are becoming more and more intuitive nowadays as a consciousness, as a whole of the human race. We're all evolving upwards. People can feel these things. They can sense these things. And as you work through this fear of being seen, people feel more and more comfortable to view you, to be in your energy. Your energy becomes addicting. Your energy becomes magnetizing because you're like, like, watch me, see me. Like, I can shine in the fucking spotlight. And I remember I would get these little hate comments here and there, but I would pray and say, I'm open and ready for more. Like, if there is more regulation that I need to do in order to receive more people in my space so that I can impact more people, then let me receive the test. And I want to face them headstrong and I want to overcome them and pass these tests with flying colors. And the next thing I knew was someone very close to me started sending me all of these really mean and hateful things about me, about my business, Better You, the things that I was talking about. And they were viewing me out of their lens, out of their reticular activating system. They were seeing whatever their reticular activating system picked up about me, and they saw me in such a negative light. And honestly, it was heartbreaking to have someone so close to you seemingly just turn their back in a split second and view you in this very harsh and negative and hateful light and just start throwing all these mean comments and saying all of these mean things your way. And this is what I mean by your body a lot of times we'll have these visceral reactions because it is a primal thing for us. Our body sees it as death or life. And what happened to me as I was doing my best to process and accept the information that I was hearing was my body, you could say that what I experienced was a massive panic attack. My nervous system went into this overdrive where I felt like it was really, really hard for me to control. And it took me quite a long time, I think hours, for me to be able to calm myself back down. But that really lit me up for a long time. And then multiple times after that, as I thought about that and I would have to regulate myself down every single time, I would be reminded of what this person had said about me. And the thing is, these are literally just words. These are literally just texts and voice messages that I opened, that I read and listened to. It's not like anyone was throwing daggers at me, but it felt like I was getting daggers thrown into my heart. And it is hurtful when people say things about you, especially people that you think you can trust and that you know and love. It still can be hurtful when strangers say things about you. Be okay with that, but also train yourself to be able to stand strong through that. And I'm so grateful, even though I was so hurt in that moment when this person said all of these mean ass things to me, but I'm so grateful because that was the ultimate thing that really allowed me to expand my nervous system to be able to hold so much more. Now it's I feel like, knock on wood, but I feel like anyone can say hateful things to me. And I'm I have now such a strong knowing in who I am and what I stand for and what my truth is, where it's even someone who is very close to me, if they see me in a negative light, I now understand they're perceiving what they are perceiving out of their own experiences, their own past, their own shit that they have yet to heal from or move through. The only time people see you in a negative light is when people are experiencing negativity within themselves. If people call you cringe, they are judging the fuck out of themselves. They must be so afraid to mess up in front of people. They must be so afraid. Make sure every single makeup is good. Make sure every single hair is twirled before they even leave the house, because God forbid they get seen in a negative light. They must be living in such a constricted bubble that they look around and go, oh, cringy. They're projecting their own shit, babe. Regulate your nervous system and know yourself well enough to not take it personal. I grew so much out of my fear of being seen by posting things that were really cringy, and I own it. And when you own it, people can't talk shit. They can try, but it has no weight. Notice when you feel the bodily constriction of feeling that fear or anxiety or sadness of what comes up when people do judge, make fun of you, misperceive you, send the video you just made to their group chat so they all can make fun of you because they're crusty and dusty. Okay, side note, if you talk shit about people in your friend group chat, you're lame as fuck. I'm just saying, please do something better with your time and energy. To move through this quicker is to be more aware, expand your awareness, expand your conscious container of the times that you are affected. What times are you affected by this in your day-to-day life? Where are you right now hiding parts of yourself because you're afraid of being seen? At your workplace, around your family. Yes, there's fine lines about, what you should and shouldn't show in different settings, but use your discernment here. Where are you hiding yourself right now? What are you not showing about yourself right now? Challenge yourself to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And Lord, when I tell you, when I put out my first YouTube video, I was hella uncomfortable. I was petrified, but I fucking did it. Do the damn thing anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway, and regulate your nervous system as you feel the fear. I promise you, you are not going to be eaten by a lion or a tiger or a bear. Oh my. And make sure the way that in which you are showing up is in alignment with your authentic self. So remember when I said that you're so powerful when you emit your own authentic frequency. Sometimes when we've been living in the shell of masks and facades, because that's all we've known, it takes some time to really learn and recognize who we truly are and who is our authentic selves. And the beautiful thing about this is that you have your internal guidance system living inside of you right now, and that is your emotions. Your emotions are always guiding you what is for you and what is not for you. Now, what is for you will excite you. You will feel this sense of liberation and energy and electricity. And sometimes it's even just a tiny, tiny little nudge of that's interesting to me. Or I wonder if that's something that I might like. Sometimes it's just that little nudge. But deep down in your heart, what is for you. So start tuning out the noise and tuning in to your own intuition and your own heart and your own desires. And I want to be clear with this because being excited and being scared and nervous are two different things. You can feel scared, but that doesn't mean that you should not do it. A lot of times, the things that will expand you the most will feel scary because your primal ego part of you, and we need this part of ourselves, by the way, but this part of you will feel scared because it's outside of your comfort zone. It's the unknown, baby. It's what's there? It alerts your system because there could be potential danger. But it's those things that you want to take note of and lean into the most. If it's not for you, it will feel boring. It will feel dull. The energy around it will feel dead. It'll feel like you're forcing yourself to do it. Practice really getting to know yourself and have that discernment. And I'm saying this because you might see someone who sees success by posting on YouTube in a certain way, posting a certain length of videos, having their YouTube videos, performed in a certain way, and they say that this is the way that works. But some of that might not feel good to you. It might not be in alignment with your energy. And your path to success is going to look different than anyone else's path to success because you have your unique vibrational frequency, your authentic self. Imagine your authentic self as a disco ball, and every facet of this disco ball is shining different facets of yourself. And everyone has different facets of themselves in their own disco ball. Just like your fingerprint is unique, you have a unique energetic blueprint to live by. Your path to success, you will never be able to find success and fulfillment by following exactly someone else's path to success, because that was their path to success and fulfillment. If you try to follow someone else's exact way to the way that they aligned with their success and fulfillment, you will always feel out of alignment. You will always feel frustrated in some way or resistant in some way. It will not feel fully good to you because you'll be trying to force something that is out of your energetic flow with your energetic body of who you came here to be. So this is about becoming a leader of your own life. This is making the world a better place. It's leading yourself. Dr. Joe Dispenza, he talked about in the retreat that I went to last year, and I keep remembering it. And he mentioned how in nature, a flock of birds, there's not one bird that is specifically leading. He said, when you really look at it, and like the school of fish and things, he said, when you really look at these who are all operating together, they all operate so harmoniously together, they are all leading themselves. We, the people, the human being collective, we're not meant to have someone else tell us what to do because they don't know better. They don't know what's best for you. You know what's best for you in your heart. But for so many years, we've been taught to listen to others, to keep our mouths shut, to keep our head straight to what we're being told to do. And we've lost that sense of touch of discernment within ourselves. And it would be so beneficial for you, your family, your community, the world, when you start listening to yourself, what is true for you. Make your YouTube videos, in this example of if you're wanting to be on YouTube, make your YouTube videos unique to you. Don't try to copy other people. You can use other people as inspiration. If certain things about other people's videos feel good to you, excite you, yes, use that as inspiration. But start making your own fucking path, because your path is your path and no one can take that from you. And it's going to be so fun as you start to follow what lights you up. Make sure that you are singing the songs and in the way in which you want to sing, the way that you're producing music, the way that you are dancing, the way that you are teaching, the way that you are hula hooping, the way that you are doing life. Do it in your own way, the way that you feel called to, the way that feels good to you and exciting to you. Life is meant to be good. Life is meant to be fun. Life is meant to be exciting. And even if showing up in these unique ways is causing you to have fears or doubts or worries, this, again, does not mean that it's not for you. This is simply uprooting the shit that is in your electromagnetic field, the shit that has been programmed in your brain that is out of alignment with your truth. This is being shown to the surface of saying, hey, this is stuff in you that's not meant to be in you. Let's show you it, bring it up to the surface so that you can detox your energy and rip away all of the masks and facades that you may have put on yourself over the years and really shine your authentic self. So let yourself be scared and go for it anyway. That's like some of the most exciting, thrilling times of your life is when you're like shaking, like so nervous, so scared, and you do it anyway, and then it works out. And you're like, oh my God. Do it scared and regulate your nervous system along the way. If you made it to this point of the video, leave a black heart emoji in the comment section below so I know who made it to this point. Again, I am accepting one-on-one VIP clients. We work very closely together to work through your specific mental blockages, clear your energetic field, and train your brain and nervous system to be in alignment with your biggest desires and dreams. The brain trainings that I have for sale are linked below, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao.